If you are anything like me, then chances are you're a big fan of survival horror. And if you are, then chances are you're excited for any of the games in that exact genre coming out in the next few weeks and months. Well, what if I told you that there was actually another fairly new Resident Evil game and you could play it right now? And what if I told you that not only is this video all about it, but that it's also sponsored by it? If you've never heard of it before, Resident Evil Survival Unit, released late last year, has since surpassed 4 million downloads and is sitting at around 4.5 stars. It's an all-new mobile strategy game based on the Resident Evil series, which is turning 20 this year. It features a totally original storyline set in a parallel universe from the main series, and follows a steadily growing group of survivors, with appearances from characters from across the entire series. On top of all of that, it's also just dropped its January update, adding 3 new characters to the cast. We got Billy Cohen, former Marine sentenced to death for a crime he did not commit, now on the run and joining the fight for survival. Rebecca Chambers, a rookie member of STARS, but don't be fooled by her lack of experience or age. She has seen things that you would not believe and come out the other side unscathed. And last but certainly not least, Chris Redfield. Chris is still a force to be reckoned with, be it at a range or up close and personal. He's a natural leader, so makes for an excellent member of any squad. If you want to check out the game and get your hands on these or any of the other iconic characters from across all of Resident Evil history, be sure to check out the game for yourself at the link below. A huge thanks to Resident Evil Survival Unit for sponsoring the video and keeping the lights on during these cold winter months. Now, let's see just how evil these residents are. When the game first started, I was actually really surprised by how much it felt like another game in the series. Of course, it's running on a phone, so it may not be as visually impressive as the vascular detail in Leon's new arms, but you're still doing the same sorts of Resident Evil activities. That means exploring dark, abandoned areas, collecting ammo from little red boxes, shooting infected, and completing various puzzles. The story kicks off with you waking up in a hospital during the fall of Raccoon City. After meeting up with a small group of survivors, you make your way out of the city and find an abandoned mansion where you start to build the foundations of a place to call home. The mansion holds many secrets, with space for all kinds of facilities to gather more resources, search for more survivors, and grow the power of this settlement. It's here you're met with the main gameplay loop, and there is very little downtime, especially when you are first getting started. You'll need to build and upgrade these facilities to quickly grow your base in preparation for incoming hordes of infected. Whilst you wait for construction or resources, you can take to the road to explore, to push the story forward and gather even more loot from the outside world. And of course, who better to help you with all of this than quite literally an all-star, did you see what I did there, cast from across the series. There's all your favourites like Jill, Leon, Ada, and the Redfield siblings, but you also have Marvin, Brad, and much, much more. Basically, if you know a character by name, chances are they're in this game somewhere and more than willing to help you out. And even if they're not, the game is still getting regular updates, so in all likelihood, if you find someone who's missing, they'll probably be coming later. You unlock these heroes through collecting their files through exploration, quests, and a bit of luck during recruitment. Once under your command, you'll be able to upgrade them to increase their power and unlock powerful new abilities for use in combat. There's too many characters to name and even more abilities, but just know that there is a lot to unlock, so you'll have plenty to keep you busy for quite a while. With their help, you'll be able to complete quests in no time and propel the story forwards, unlocking new facilities to empower your base and new ways to play and progress further. There really is almost too much to mention, so rapid fire for some highlights. Advanced exploration featuring more challenging scenarios that will force you to experiment with different combinations of heroes and their abilities. Some of these heroes can bring truly wacky powers, such as Claire's minigun, Jill's laser cannon, and of course, Brad's pizza sign. Eventually, you unlock the ability to have these battles autoplay, but if you want to get the best results possible, then playing manually will almost always be the way to go. You can also take part in radar missions, allowing you to send your squads out into the world to take on distant threats. These are a little bit more hands-off, and instead require you to build up the best squad you can with heroes and standard survivors to take on whatever threat you find. These are still very quick to complete, so something you can hop between whilst waiting for other things. And there's even PvP battles, allowing you to climb the rankings and see what other players are using to get some fresh ideas. This is by far the most challenging combat in the game, as enemies shoot back instead of simply shambling towards your squad. You'll need to bring the best heroes you can and upgrade them and their abilities as much as possible to get the win and climb those ranks. All of these can be completed pretty much back to back, so if you're ever waiting for some construction or resource income, there is always something to do to keep things interesting. It's genuinely quite hard to put down because there is always something to do, whether that's upgrading a building, recruiting new heroes, starting research, or any of the other near countless activities. I know that mobile games tend to get a bad rap for being outrageous time sinks that love to make you wait, but even without spending any premium currency, I really do think there is enough here to keep you busy for even the longest of commutes or lunch breaks, and that is all without having you sat there waiting. And if you're one of those people with let me check my notes here, friends, then you can also get them involved. There's a fairly robust alliance system allowing you to cooperate with other players and assist them with everything from construction to combat. Me, I don't really have any of those, so I just joined the Pink Pony Club because, it's pretty cool. But for real, you can use this to really work together and help each other progress through the game quicker, which is never a bad thing. Plus, even if you're looking to be selfish, you can contribute to projects that will directly benefit you, like shared research, territory expansion, and more, so even if you're not a big social butterfly, it's worth joining one just for the benefits. Gameplay aside, I think the thing that's impressed me the most with this game is just how very Resident Evil everything feels. You may not always be wandering dark caverns or roundhouse kicking the infected, but everything feels like just another entry in the series. From the dingy environments, the iconic characters and their larger-than-life abilities, the feel of the game is distinctly Resident Evil. And speaking of the design, did you know that Yoshitaka Amano joined as a guest designer to create his own original monster? Even if you don't know his name, you almost certainly know his work, since he's the designer behind a bunch of iconic series dating back to the 90s. Since then, he has done literally everything from video games to animation to graphic novels and much, much more. Bro was the highest earning artist in the world in 1996 and earned the equivalent of $80 million in a single year as an artist. So it's pretty safe to say he knows what he's doing when it comes to designing compelling characters, and that goes for monsters too. And yeah, looking at Mortem, that guy has some aura. I'd love to tell you more about him, but honestly, I'm not up to his part in the story yet because this game is pretty dang long. That said, from what I've played so far, it's a full alternate reality survival story with plenty of appearances from all of your favourite characters. If you've ever wanted to know what it would be like if everyone actually worked together for once, then this tells that story with very few exceptions. There is a lot to learn about this mansion and how it's connected to the outbreak in Raccoon City, and whilst it may all seem a little familiar to fans of the series, it is a whole new story and twist on the events you've been playing through for every game that came before. If you are worried about playing a mobile version of a story that you have seen before, then I can guarantee you that this isn't that. You're in for a totally original story with its own twists and turns, all of the same Resident Evil flair for the dramatic that you know and love. This is on top of the base building, strategic combat, upgradable iconic characters, and online cooperation. Essentially, you are looking at the most feature-rich Resident Evil game that you can also carry around in your pocket. To give you my genuine opinion, as mobile games go, this is one of the good ones. It gives you plenty to do without locking you off behind endless grinds or long wait times. You get pieces of the story basically every day, as nothing ever holds you up for much longer than that, especially towards the beginning. And the things that you are doing are actually quite fun and easy to get lost in. Simply exploring as far as you can go, managing your squads, upgrading your base, and doing any of the other 20 things there are to do at any time, you're never doing something for so long that it becomes tedious, and all of it rewards you with more ways to enhance your game. I picked it up to record and accidentally played for 30 minutes without stopping because I kept getting pulled into different activities. If you want something to entertain you for your commute or lunch break whilst listening to your favourite podcast, then this does the job perfectly. But what I want to know now is, what character would you be most excited to see added? One more thank you to Resident Evil Survival Unit for sponsoring the video. Don't forget to check out the game for yourself at the link in the description. Like I said at the start, sponsors like this really do help keep things running in these post-December months, so I really do appreciate everyone that checks out the game. Like the video if you did, subscribe for more strategy gaming content, and if you want more great games to play on the go, then check out my top 10 strategy games for the Steam Deck video.